What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. All right, guys, let me start off by, look, it's Monday. It is Veterans Day. To all you vets out there, happy Veterans Day. I myself is a veteran. So what I would like to do real quick is just, let's do a shout out, guys. You know that we're a community here in this veteran world. So tell me about yourselves, man. Comment below. Tell me, where'd you do your boot camp? Where'd you do your boot camp training? Where'd you do your advanced training? What's your MOS? What branch of the service were you in? Were you deployed? Let me know. Let's shout each other out here. Just to start the conversation myself, guys, once again, my name is Steven Hyder. I did my basic up in Great Lakes, Illinois. I went to A school, advanced training in Pensacola, Florida. My MOS, or rating as we call it in the Navy at the time, was called, originally contracted in as something called Aviation Ordnanceman. You guys probably know us as BB stackers, the guys who put the bombs on the planes. But I got put into a program that was called GTEP. So instead of essentially delaying my enlistment, I was able to go in undesignated first and then go to A school later. I opted against that because they wanted you to extend, not re-enlist, guys, extend. There's a big difference there because it has to do with money. You lose money if you extend without re-enlisting. So I skipped out on that, and I actually went and took the test for ABH, Aviation Boatsman Handler, third class on my first attempt. After that, guys, basically never moved a plane a day in my life. If you guys are wondering about that, they're called Skittles. These are the guys you'll see on movies that are in like the reds, the blues, the whites, the yellows, all that kind of stuff, guys. I never personally moved a plane because I was actually put in the damage control shop. So I handled things such as maintenance for the division and basically servicing firefighting equipment. I was on Repair Locker 7 Alpha during general quarters, served during Operation Enduring Freedom. So mostly deployed from 2006 all the way through into the summer of 2007, guys. All right. Y'all let me know where you guys are coming in from if you guys are veterans. So today's topic, guys. Today's topic, look, it's game week, officially starting with Monday here. I want to start talking about New England, the New England Patriots. I was looking over things, and this is what I'll say about the Patriots. Offensively, I see some concerns there, guys. I see some major concerns from the New England Patriots. I'm going to go through some things today, and this is going to be a very generalized session today. I'll get into the game film study and stuff like that later in the week. So probably tomorrow I'll hit you guys with a little bit of situational stats about the Patriots, and I'll go into that stuff. But today I just want to have a generalized conversation about what I'm seeing from this New England Patriots team. I looked through it, and I got to tell you, it's concerning. They're not as good as they probably want people to believe they are offensively. They're not good at all. All right, y'all. Let's jump to the topic.
Already in full screen here. And Brady will throw that.
Okay. Jumping into today's topic, guys. So to start with, I'm not going to sit here and paint a pretty picture of the New England Patriots offense. Look, it's still got weapons. It still can be dangerous because at the end of the day, Tom Brady is still the quarterback. Bill Belichick, my bad, guys, is still the coach there. However, I'm going to tell you right now, in terms of weapons you fear to beat you, there's not a whole lot there. They really don't have a whole lot working for them in that particular, department. This is the weapons they have. These are weapons that have pretty much been here for a while, and they're adding a few pieces. So, number one, the biggest weapon to me when this individual is healthy is, especially in the running game, you got to watch out for Sanu Michel. Sanu Michel can definitely he can get to teams if they're not careful. I will say this though about Sanu Michel, he's a very one-dimensional player. He's not a very big receiving threat, so New England becomes a little predictable when he's in the football game. In terms of not being so predictable, if you're looking at New England's backfield, then you have to look at James White. He's not quite as predictable. So certainly he's more of the receiving back for the Patriots, but he's also their second basically leading rusher. It's skewed heavily, guys. He's more of the receiving threat than he is the running threat, but they can surprise you with that. Past those two guys, you kind of get into some weird territory with the New England Patriots backfield because then you're getting into a guy like Rex Burkhead, which, once again, he'll run the ball here and there, but he's more of a receiving threat than he is a running threat. And then you get a guy like Brandon Bolden, who's more of a bruiser. He's more of a third down and short goal line type. He's more of a physical back. Past that, we go to the receiving core guys, and it's much the same with a little wrinkle coming back. I'll say this: up until the season, New England was a very good tight end oriented football team, and this year it's not quite as good. So receivers, Julian Edelman is the first guy that everyone's going to kind of know, right? He's not a blazer, he's not a burner, he's not a fast guy that's going to beat you. He's a 4 or 5 guy. But when you're a 4 or 5 guy and you have 63 receptions already on the season for over 600 yards, and you've already hit 4 touchdowns on you, you're not creating that separation by pure physical abilities. You're creating it by the craftsmanship of your skill. This guy is a great route runner. He gets separation through his route running. Past that, you have Mohamed Sanu, another guy. This dude's a 4-6er. Like, he ain't scaring anybody. He's a great route runner. He gets separation through the routes that he runs. You go past that, and they have a young guy that I'm very familiar with. He's an NC State guy, and Jacoby Myers. He was an undrafted rookie free agent, which still shocks me because people pay way too much attention to the 40-yard dash. Just like Jacoby Myers is very, very similar to Mohamed Sanu in the speed department. These are both 6'2"-ish kind of guys. Sanu is a little more physical, a little more better built, but these guys are very good at the routes they run. I'll say this is that Jacoby Myers is slightly faster, but he's still a 4-6 guy. He isn't going to scare anybody in terms of his speed over the top, but he's a former quarterback who knows every route tree, knows exactly where to be, and gets separation through his route running. He's also probably the guy that with the return of N'Keal Harry is most likely to be inactive for the game, to be quite honest. Past that, they do have one blazer. This Patriots team has one blazer that the Eagles would have to be concerned about playing, and that particular individual hasn't really done a whole lot on the year, so I'm not too sure how concerned they should necessarily be. But at the same time, Phillip Dorsett, this is a 4-2, 4-3 guy. Like, he will beat the Eagles deep if we're not careful. He's not a big, tall, go out and go get the ball kind of guy. He's I'll get separation by my pure physical abilities to run. That's this New England offense. And what's really disturbing about this New England offense is when you really break it down into what they are. This is a 60% pass to 40% run team. They work primarily out of the 11-man personnel package, but they're on the lower end of that. Even though they're dominant, there's only really 2 teams that are not dominant 11-man personnel, and that's basically Arizona and then Minnesota. They're like teams like San Francisco and like New England are pretty diverse, but still dominant. Their dominant formation is still 11-man. Although San Francisco is much more diverse, like it's in the 30s percentages of use there, and they're almost 12-man as much as they are 11-man. When you get to New England, it's 51% 11-man personnel. It's 10% 12-man personnel, 18% 21-man personnel. It's 5% 22-man personnel, 7% 10-man personnel, 7% 20-man personnel. So here's the deal. If you're breaking down these individual formations for the New England Patriots, what needs to be said is this. And that 51% utilization of 11-man personnel, I think the Patriots still get a little pass happy in that formation. They're at a 66 to 34 percentage rate of pass to run in 11-man personnel. There's still a semblance of balance in that 66 to 34%, but just keep in mind, they've run 321 plays out of the 11-man personnel, and of those 321 plays, 212 of them have been passes. Okay? When you go to the formation, your 12-man formation, which they've been in for 10% of plays, and this might be a formation that we see kind of disappear due to injury on the Patriots football team. But nonetheless, this is a formation to where this is clear run when they're in 12-man. They're in the formation 10% of all plays, okay? So 10% of their offense is run through the 12-man formation. That's 63 total plays in 12-man. And I want to say out of those 63 plays, let me see if I have that statistic written down, guys. Let me see. I don't have that statistic written down, guys, but basically out of those 63 plays, 83% of it has been run through the run. Has been given to the run. 17% to the pass. This is a very, very low percentage offense in terms of passing the ball from the 12-man formation. When you go to the 21-man formation, this is their second most utilized formation. This obviously incorporates 2 running backs, which I think is the strength of this New England Patriots football team. And what you get from the 21-man personnel from the Patriots is 18% of their offense being running through there in balance. This is their most balanced formation. So when they're in the 21-man formation, which is 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 2 running backs, they are 52% pass, 48% run. Pretty balanced. That's a very, very balanced offensive formation. So if you're really looking at that, they run 113 total plays out of the 21-man personnel. Of those 113 plays, 59 of them have been passes. Okay, so 52 to 48 balance there. I think that is a formation the Eagles might see quite often in this game. 22-man personnel, 1 wide receiver, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, guys. Once again, it's another one of these 2 running back sets. 5% of their offense is coming from that. Dominant run offense for these guys when they're in 22-man personnel. So 21% of the time they're passing, 79% of the time they're running. You go to the 10-man personnel. This is going to be pretty much straight across the board for the league in its entirety. But you're dealing with 4 wide receivers, 1 running back, and they're heavy pass in that formation. 7% of all their plays have come out of the 10-man personnel package, which is 46 plays on the year. 96% of it has been passes, 4% of it has been runs. 20-man personnel, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Once again, that 2 running back set. 20-man personnel, it's 85-15 in favor of the pass. My point being is the only time the Patriots are really balanced is in the 21-man personnel package. They have a semblance of balance in 11-man, but the strength of this football team, to me, is keeping 2 running backs on the field. Whether you are doing that through the 21-man personnel package, through the 22-man personnel package, or through the 20-man personnel package. New England's best formation, its best offensive scheme, is to keep 2 running backs on the football field. Mostly because these wide receivers are really sketchy. They're really sketchy into the way that they fit the offense. And now I'm going to flip gears. I'm going to talk about the strange fit of the New England wide receivers. It's a weird situation, guys. So as I was going through all the material last night for today, and I was trying to kind of put together okay, what are the weapons? Where do we need to be concerned of? How do I break down all this information and put it into usable pieces for the the average common fan here? The first place that I thought to start with is quite obviously Julian Edelman. So Julian Edelman, shorter guy with 5'10-ish, runs about a 4'5", 4'5'2-ish. I mean, he's got some speed, but he's not an elite speedster. He's more of a skilled route runner. But look, this guy has 63 receptions on the season for 663 yards, averaging about 10.5 yards per reception, and he's got 4 touchdowns. He's still a weapon. Here's a tendency that I noticed about Julian Edelman. He's a slot receiver. He lines up more on the right side than the left side, about 315 snaps taken on the right side as compared to 252 snaps on the left side, which does make him a little different from the rest of these receivers I'm going to talk about. But with that said, he's played in, I don't know if I mentioned this, but 581 of 624 snaps, so he is the most utilized player on the Patriots football team. He is our Nelson Aguilar, but he's making catches and making plays for them. He is dominant slot, guys. I know I said he's a slot receiver, but listen to the numbers so that way you'll understand exactly where I'm coming from. Out of 581 plays, 489 of them have been spent in the slot. 65 on the outside, 13 in tight, 4 in the backfield. 14 in the backfield. So, as expected, they will use him in the slot heavily. He will be used from time to time out on the outside, but it's not a big part of his game. And they have a tendency to put him in the backfield. They'll use him in the backfield. This is a weird football team, and this is probably their best receiver in terms of dependability. Past that, we get into a player that is making me scratch my head, and that's Phillip Dorsett. Speed guy, very fast. This is one of the fastest ball players we will play all year. He He was timed in the 4.2s. I think he ran like a 4.22 or 4.23, something like that at his pro day. But even if he's lost a step since then, this kid's still probably running 4.3s. He's fast, lightning fast. He has played the second most snaps in a New England Patriots jersey. Mohamed Sanu has played more snaps overall, but not in a New England Patriots jersey. He's been on 403 offensive snaps out of 624 total. He lines up, he has a tendency to line up more on the left than the right. Okay. 251 snaps on the left side as compared to 221 on the right. They do love to move this kid around. And this is what's so confusing to me about Phillip Dorsett. In my opinion, Phillip Dorsett is an obvious Z receiver. Elite speed, can hit those routes, gets moved all around the football field. Sounds like a Z receiver. Sounds like a Deshaun Jackson-esque type receiver. He's made 23 catches on the year for 299 yards, which is a 13-yard average, and he's got 4 touchdowns. This kid will beat you deep if you're not careful. But here's the part that's head scratching. A Z receiver generally plays on what side of the field, guys? The right. The offensive right. This kid is playing mostly on the offensive left. It's strange. So if we dig down deep into this, he's been versatile in 251 to 221. I'm not saying that, but on the outside, he's received 243 total snaps. In the slot, he's received 151 total snaps. In tight, 2 snaps. In the backfield, 7 snaps. So, like I said, they move him all around. But here's the thing. When you zero in on just his play outside, on the right side, he's played 160 snaps. On the left side, 83. What the fuck? It doesn't make a lot of sense, guys. This kid is definitely like a domino. They put his ass everywhere. You're going to play Where's Waldo on Dorsett because you have to know where this kid is because he'll beat you deep. I think Dorsett makes this game plan quite easy for me with the utilization of New England and the way they like to use their running backs. I think you have to go single high safety man coverage in this game. He's a difficult player to match up with. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Past that, the next guy that we have to worry about in New England is Mohamed Sanu, which Sanu is another slot receiver. Jacoby Myers, he's a slot guy. Sanu, he's a slot guy. Edelman, slot guy. They just run out a shit ton of slot guys. Slater is an outside receiver, but he never really sees snaps. I haven't really even included him in this conversation. But Sanu, on the season, Sanu has 45 catches for 417 yards, 9.3 yard average for 2 touchdowns. He's definitely more of a dink and dunk type. He's got 477 offensive snaps on the year. 75 of those 477 have come on the outside. 393 of those 477 have been in the slot. He's been in tight 4 times, in the backfield 5 times. He is twice as likely to play on the right instead of the left. So, especially if we're breaking this down in terms of him playing outside, those 75 outside receiving stats, he plays 28 snaps on the left. He's played 28 snaps on the left, so that's generally speaking your X receiver position, and 47 on the right. Now, if we break this down into the slot, he still plays predominantly more on the left in the slot than on the right. But it's interesting to me that when you put him in the outside, so while he's most likely to play the left slot, he's more likely, if you put him outside, to play the right outside, the Z role, which is weird. This kid is not a Z receiver. He's definitely more of an X. It throws me off, guys. This throws me off because I don't know how New England envisions Sanu. I don't know if they're envisioning him playing more on the outside or the inside. It's weird. I mean, on one hand, I see some of the vision because if you got Edelman, who is clearly a slot receiver, and he likes to play more on the right side in the slot, and then you got Sanu, who's clearly a slot receiver, and he needs to play more on the left side on the slot. That part makes sense to me. Now you got 2 very good slot receivers, one on the left, one on the right. But you can only use so many slot receivers in a particular formation. That's the problem. Right now, all I see is one Z receiver who's playing an X. And that's in Phillip Dorsett. The real wild card to me when we look at this New England receiving core is N'Keal Harry and how they're going to use N'Keal Harry. Because this guy, to me, would seem to be a prototypical X receiver. He's big, he's physical. He's what, 6 foot, I want to say 4, 220 some pounds. He he's not the fastest guy. He only runs like a 4.59. But look, that's not everything. He's big, he's physical. He's certainly probably a little faster than a guy like Alshon Jeffrey. Just, he's a physical type presence like that. I don't know that he can elevate and get up and high point the ball the way that Alshon can do when he's healthy. But I could see if you put N'Keal Harry back into the lineup, coming back healthy, that now maybe you got an X receiver in N'Keal Harry. Now maybe you got a Z receiver in Dorsett, and now you got a left slot in. You have a left slot basically in Sanu, and you have a right slot in Edelman. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to make sure I said those right. So X receiver in N'Keal Harry, left slot in Mohamed Sanu, right slot in Edelman, and now a Z receiver in Dorsett. I'm just wondering if this is the way that they're envisioning these pieces fit. This is a weird thing, guys. I've been looking at this for a while now. This is what I've seen from New England. It's puzzling. To me, clearly their best offense is to be in two-back sets. We'll see if they continue forth with two-back sets or not. I'm wondering if they're going to get a little too happy with N'Keal Harry being in the lineup, and let's see if that alters anything, or if he's just really an afterthought and they're still going to run. If I had to take a guess, I would say they're going to predominantly be an 11-man personnel, but you're going to see a lot of 20 and 21-man personnel as well. You're going to see them really try to come at you with two-back sets. That would be my prediction for this game. All right, guys, tell me what you think. How do you think this game's going to go? This is just an overview of things, guys. So tell me what you think New England's going to do in terms of using some of these pieces they have. I think you got to be careful of White coming out of the backfield because he's a threat to receive the ball. Sonny Michel, they'll try to run with him, but we're a pretty damn good run defense. I'm not overly scared about that aspect of the game. But nonetheless, these are my thoughts on it. You guys tell me what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And oh yeah, it's Monday. We're getting into game week, so we got to go EAGLES. Let's go Eagles. All right, guys, I'm going to keep these videos rolling. So I'm going to get into more of the particulars, right? So I'm going to look into like down distances, things like that tomorrow, and how the Patriots utilize players.